Redditors who live in Wyoming. Why? Roads are too iced over to escape. The wind keeps blowing my wagon over. Ezekiel has cholera. Again. Send salt pork. I lived there for 7 years. The lack of people made it the most relaxing period of my life. I'm here going on 5. World-class skiing, fishing, hunting, hiking, a bike path that goes through Grand Teton NP, Yellowstone. Wind River Range, I've hiked probably 500 miles here and have nowhere close to seen it all. Did a hike this summer none of my friends have ever heard of, 45 minutes from my house. Got to end and it reminded me of Yosemite. In July. Saw no one. No income tax. Traveling west, the first red light is about 20 miles. North, Ike 150 miles. South 75 and East Ike. Until you spend time here it's hard to realize how sparse it is. More like Alaska than the lower 48. Teachers here love their job and want to do it. This is not the case in my previous East Coast town. I have kids, this is important to me. I wore bear spray into a county building the other day to vote, no one cared. Winters are harsh and long. It keeps a lot of people out, but you learn it's beautiful and embrace it. I've experienced 36, I could list more lol, but these are the more important ones. What jobs are available there? I visited this summer and it was the most beautiful state I've ever been to. Edit, I woke up today to 35 messages and thought, oh great, WTF, stupid thing did I say last night? I'm getting yelled at for, glad it was this low. I live in Jackson Hole. You show up and have 10 jobs in the tourist industry. We're very different from the rest of the state. The joke is Jackson, 50 miles from the real Wyoming. The cost of living here is extremely high, median house price is $1.5 million. So to really live here long term you have to solve the housing problem first. Lots of real estate agents and telecommuters. Many retired wealthy people. Otherwise you're in some government backbone kind of job. I grew up about an hour south of Jackson in Star Valley. I would say that Jackson is very different from the rest of the state. Sorry to hear the Kmart closing, that was our go-to for school stuff if we didn't want to take the 2-hour drive up Idaho Falls. I grew up about an hour south of Jackson in Star Valley. Oh man, I love that game. Do the Star do? My parents left me here. I mean you are a moose, so. A moose wondering why his parents left him. Once bit my sister. We apologize for the fault in this comment. Those responsible have been sacked. And those who sacked the ones who were sacked have indeed been sacked. Mind you, bites can be pretty nasty. The remainder of the credits have been completed at great expense and entirely at the last minute. Right, that enough of that, this has gotten terribly silly. And now for something different. Fear of escalators. The entire state has 2 sets. Both are in the same city. Career paths to consider when I moved to Wyoming: 1. Ski instructor. 2. Traffic light inspector. 3. Oil rig worker. 4. Escalator repairman. 5. Hotel manager. Sigh. They need hotels there? I just assumed every home has a guest bedroom and an overly welcoming mother. The state fair in Douglas is a huge draw, they need hotels for that, plus when the bike rally happens over in Sturgis, people have been known to book hotels well into Wyoming. Laramie has the University of Wyoming, some great college football, if you're into that sort of thing. Cheyenne has Cheyenne Frontier Days, the end of July, with lots of concerts and rodeos, plus there's an Air Force base and a VA hospital. Yes, they have very good healthcare in Cheyenne. The Wind River Range near Riverton is absolutely breathtaking. #X200B, source, most of my family is from wonderful Wyoming, for about 35 years now. I moved to the southern tier of NY, and it feels pretty much the same, except fewer mountains. All 4 people have replied, this thread is now exhausted. Bold of you to assume that more than 3 people live in Wyoming. So there is an imposter. A witch hunt. How exciting. I call dibs on Hermione. It wouldn't be as creepy if you weren't watching the first movie when you said that. Oming. Wide. Open. Spaces. Room to make a big mistake. She needs. Niwu faces. She knows the high stakes. She knows the highest stakes. Some people like to not live near other people. I was going to say that that's why I live in Finland, but it looks like Wyoming has us beat by quite a bit. The population density in Finland is 47 people per square mile. In Wyoming, it's 6 people per square mile. Mostly because there's a lot of empty space. In the 2 biggest cities it's like 2,500 per square mile. There's just a whole lot of plains and mountains with no one around to skew it a bit. Well, it's pretty much all plains or all mountains. If you're in the east, then you're a really lame plains guy, but in the west it is pretty and mountainous. Excuse you. Those plains are beautiful. As homework, please listen to Western Skies by Chris Ledoux. Agreed. Wyoming plains ain't South Dakota plains. Hey now, real South Dakota plains have 4 to 6 foot big bluestem grass. Seeing that in a breeze is better than Wyoming's small grass rolling hills prairie. I've got family out there, and when I was young I looked forward to those trips. I would run off into a field so fast I forgot my legs were under me, burn a U-turn and come back to the house covered in grass stains and dirt. Just doing what little kids do with absolute freedom. Beautiful landscape from the Teton Mountains to the Snake River. I'd like to go back there sometime soon. I'm reading all these comments, sitting here in Idaho, not Boise, thinking to myself, shit, they're giving all the same reasons I live in Idaho. I'll tell you what it is, and this is from a man who travels extensively to major cities all over the world. I don't have to wait for anything, ever. New blockbuster coming out. I get tickets at the counter for the 7 p.m. showing on premiere day. I've literally never waited for gas or at a drive-through restaurant. If tourists more than 2 people in the checkout line, they open another lane. Tourists no traffic, the people are nice, helpful and friendly, and 50 kir means you can own a house and car with extra to spend. Tourists not a million stores or entertainment like a Dave & Buster's or an NBA team, but Salt Lake is literally only 2 hours away and they have all that shit, lots of stuff people waste their money on. I've lived in Idaho my whole life, and due to the recent influx of people I am currently looking at moving to Wyoming. Yes, I recognize the irony and I'm sorry in advance, Wyoming. I just heard about this on the news actually. Apparently people there are getting pissed at all the CA transplants. Yeah. We Idahoans like things the way they were. Cheap housing and food, no lines in the DMV, guns, trucks, and talking to people you don't know in the store or gas station or whatever. Edit, fixed my grammar. I'm a redneck, but my mom would smack me if she caught me writing like an idiot. The friendliness of people out there, or basically anywhere not in the tri-state area, freaks me out some. Don't get me wrong, I love it in the abstract, but like my entire life, strangers talking to me has either meant they were mentally unwell, trying to sell me something, or trying to kill me. Takes me a while when I leave home to get over that initial reaction. Yep, next time you're in Boise, swing by Prost. It's a German beer bar where sharing tables with people you don't know is strongly encouraged. It's a really great time. I don't live there, but I did spend a couple of months there once. It's a gorgeous state. I mean, Yellowstone alone is enough of a reason. But even besides that, it's breathtaking. There aren't a ton of people, which is great. And the people that are there are nice. I could go on, but I think you get the point. I don't live there, but I'm considering moving there. Teachers get paid more and are overall treated better, and cost of living is lower. This is maybe the only reason I have stayed. 80% of the districts here are great and pay very well compared to many other places in the nation. You don't need to work 2 jobs to support yourself as a teacher in this state. Now will this last forever? Who knows? As a teacher in Alaska, yup. I tried to move down to the lower 48 to teach for 2 years, and my husband brought home more than me working a $14 HR retail job. We moved back as fast as we could. It's hard to be so far away from family, but being a teacher up here affords me a lot more financial freedom and flexibility. I live in Alaska and my best friend moved to Wyoming. She said it's the best parts of Alaska without all the ducking people. I gotta admit, that tempted me. But isn't Alaska the only state that's less densely populated, like 6 times less densely populated? Yeah, but almost 60% of the state lives in the 2 Anchorage boroughs.